Funding is provided by a grant from New York State Senator Catherine M. Young, representing Western New York's 57th District with a local office in Olean. Funding is provided by a grant from Absolute Care of Westfield, committed to returning the favor to those who spent a lifetime caring for others. Absolute Care is located at 26 Cass Street in Westfield. Dave Cass and Rick Newell provide funding on behalf of the Lakeview Hotel and Restaurant at the Docks, located on Water Street near the lake in Mayville. From the Access Channel 5 television studio in Mayville, it's Senior Report with Reed Powers. Join us live Saturday mornings between 9 and 10 a.m. in Fredonia, Mayville, and Silver Creek. Call in and share a thought or wish someone a happy birthday with Chautauqua County's only live on-air senior program. Reed continues in his 15th year with interesting guests expressing their viewpoints and informing the community on a variety of subjects. Here's the host of the show, Reed Powers.
And good morning. What a beautiful day we have here in Chautauqua County. A little bit of snow sifting down. Everything is beautiful. It's like a black and white photograph with a touch of green in the background. What a gorgeous sight. The snowmobilers are out, the skaters are out, the skiers are out, and I see there's a village that has grown out on Chautauqua Lake. All the hooches that the fishermen have are out there, and they're all warm. They always have a heater in there, and they have a nice hole, and they fish. In the meantime, there's beverages and friends. What a bunch. Oh boy, it's a fantastic time in Chautauqua County. Winter, summer, fall, or spring. And some of us are already thinking about spring. I'm about ready to pull out some bulbs that I have, and they're the beautiful bulbs that I put out all summer long. And I'll tell you, I start them in the spring in the window, and then put them in. They're pretty well started when I put them in. And of course, you don't put anything in the ground around here outside until the last day. As my grandfather says, you don't plant nothing, Reed, until Decoration Day, which has been co-opted and now is Memorial Day, becoming another military holiday, I guess. But back then it was just Decoration Day, and you went to your graves and you remembered your friends and your family and everything, and you put flowers in, and you just said an Ave for them while you were there. And some people come down and attend to them all summer long, watering and weeding and feeding and just loving them a little bit. And some people, they plant them on Decoration Day, and that's the last time they see the cemetery until next Decoration Day. But hey, what do you care? All right, guys, so we have a great program coming up. We have from the Office for the Aging, Marianne Spanos, who is a person of well-known noteworthiness in Chautauqua County. Most seniors know her, and from time to time when you have a senior-affiliated problem, if you call Marianne, she answers almost directly, and you can get her at the Chautauqua County Office for the Aging for whatever problems you have, and she will direct you, try to help you solving it. Whether it's, they have HEAP, which is for heat, and they've got food stamps for seniors, and more seniors are going on food stamps rather than eat this stuff, tuna fish, because of the fact that there has been no meaningful cola for at least almost 10 years. And of course the last 2 years, no cola at all. And this year, no cola, because there's no inflation, although everybody says inflation is rampant. Well, I can't even talk about it. I know you seniors do know there is inflation, and the Congress is not hoodwinking you, even though they pretend there's no inflation with their phony federal figures. All right, guys, we have lots of stuff going on. I like to talk about the national, state, and county news briefly. On the national level, of course, everything's gone berserk in the Middle East, especially in Egypt, where the people are riding on the streets. They got the army out with tanks. They have thousands and tens of thousands of troops and police and everything on the streets, although they say the army is basically not killing anybody yet, although they have killed some people, the police. And of course they're smashing reporters' cameras, and they've shut down the press. They've shut down They don't want anybody to know what the Mubarak is doing in the president they want out because of the 30 years of destitution and horror and stealing of all the public money, I guess. We send them $1.3 billion every year. If they really screw up the people and hurt them and injure them and shoot enough of them, Washington has indicated they may cut back on their foreign aid. They're still supporting Mubarak, though, although the people are demanding his resignation and a new government that is responsive to the people rather than their taking care of the rich and powerful. Sounds a little about like the United States Congress, I might add. I hate to throw that in, but they sure are taking care of the rich and powerful. Look at the fact that they gave them a tax break rather than the seniors a paltry $250 to help ward off inflation. Who can believe this? These are our people, our defenders, our public representatives. Oh, well. I don't know what's going on. We got those wars going all over the Middle East now, and we're spending $1 trillion a year, I'm sure, on that by the time you figure in the military. Unbelievable. All right, so at any rate, let's see what happens in Egypt, whether the people will overthrow this government, which has been basically throwing them into poverty. We have also well, basically, you're not going to hear much about the wars going on, although huge explosions, and they claim everything's calm and quiet and set up and beautiful, and we're going to be able to leave shortly. Ain't happening, guys. Although the Germans announced they're pulling out right away. 2014. God help us. All right, what's going on around the world? Seniors, I don't know. Right up here in New York State, of course, the state is pretty much moribund. The taxes have been raised 25% because everybody's leaving because of taxes. What's the answer? Raise the taxes 25%? Good luck. Cuomo has quite a row to hoe, I think. And the federal government is talking about maybe this $500 billion will be saved over 10 years, which is meaningless, or $400 billion. Give me a break. Over 10 years, that's 40 billion out of a deficit of $1.5 trillion. Forget it. They're not going to do anything about the budget overruns. China's not going to help us. They're going to keep taking our money and packing it away. At least somebody's buying our bonds. Besides the government. The government's been buying its own bonds lately. That was a new plan. Okay, guys. Here we have, locally in Chautauqua County, things seem to be at a calm state, although we did just get I think it was a 7% or 9%, I guess it was 9% hike in our taxes here. No inflation, seniors. All right, enough said. God, we have a bright side here. We have the greatest senior groups in the whole United States world, I think. Let's talk about some of these things here. I've got a lot of... I want to thank, incidentally, the Dunkirk Observer. It does a wonderful job in giving seniors the news, and it has a poll out once a month for seniors. And this is how the seniors keep in contact with what's going on around them, because they really have to be aware, or they're going to be eating tuna fish in their children's basement, thanks to Congress, which is not... We've lost 50% of our purchasing power, in the last 8 years. They don't care. They don't care, apparently. All right, here we go. In Dunkirk, they have a great group called the Dunkirk Federated Seniors, and they meet in the senior center over there in Dunkirk, which they've set up, and it's gorgeous, old school, got all kinds of services and playing things, wonderful things there. And Helen Barone is the vice president. She's been taking basically directing the ship over there for a while. And I wanted just to say hello to Hallmark, who was the kitchen committee. She does a nice job, and they're having their next meeting will be on February 1st. So get over to that senior center if you haven't been there before, and everybody who has, remember, there is that senior center, February 1st. You're having a meeting. Free lunch is planned for February 8th, Tuesday. Yes, there is a free lunch. Over at the Lakeshore Seniors, they have a bunch of wonderful people. And Dorothy Cooper got a token gift over there for her services as secretary for the past 10 years. A senior that goes in and serves 10 years, what a thing that is. I got another senior who served 15 years I'm going to talk about here. We're going to talk about in a few minutes. Silver Creek has quite a group. They actually have two groups over there, but the bigger group is the Silver Creek Seniors, and they are that is currently being presidented by Ed Newman, who is doing the job and doing a good job. Their chaplain is Irene Connie, and she read "Walk with Me." I hope so. And over there, I just wanted to mention, they have a lot of, the seniors have great trips. Check them out. They're going to the Railroad Museum in Henrietta in April, and in May to the Erie Playhouse for a show and probable dinner. Happy birthday over there to Evie Martin and Joyce Schneider. Cake is always served for birthdays, and it's a wonderful thing. And then, of course, at the end of the show, they always play bingo after the meeting. Food committee for the next meeting, which is February 1st, to include Jane Park and Clara Griffin. Westfield seniors, they mean the YWCA. The YWCA was established in Westfield in 1894. Yeah, that long ago, over a century ago, for ladies and seniors and women, older and younger. And they actually lived there. They had rooms there for them, and it was just a terrific place, and still is. They still serve all kinds of community needs. Katie Smith is executive director over there, who, incidentally, Katie used to be the Office of the Aging, I'll tell you right now, in Chautauqua County. She knows seniors. And they have all kinds of new classes and activities over there, and so and they change their programs to meet the new needs of the community. I want to mention Shirley Copine is the president, doing a wonderful job. She has a terrific husband who is a real card shark. He plays scat constantly, which is a fire department thing. He's been on the fire department for as long as anybody there can remember, and he is the captain of the fire police, which means that it's very important when the ambulance is rushing through, especially if you have somebody who's being given CPR or something, you can't stop for anything. And so the fire police, in all kinds of weather, John once had his door blown off by the wind because it was so horrible out there. Incidentally, the village didn't pay for it either. They said, get your insurance to do it. We haven't got any money. But at any rate, the fire police do a fantastic job in all communities. And when you see them out there in the corner with their blue light going and their long red wand and their huge, their bright incandescent orange jackets, vests, remember, these guys are out there in all weather and they're protecting the roads and highways. When somebody comes rushing through with an emergency, real horrible accident or something in the ambulance, these guys guide them through. So always pay attention to them. If you see that blue light or the flash of their flashlight, slow down and do what they ask you to do. They're usually clearing the way. All right, Shirley Kapleen, you have quite a husband, I must say. They always meet, incidentally, Thursdays, and I think it's every second Thursday of every month, and they meet at 10 o'clock. Oh, no, they meet at noon, I might add. Let's get that right. Anybody who's 50 can join. It doesn't cost much. And everybody has a potluck dinner. And some of it's provided by the senior group in Westfield. And most of the other senior groups do this too. They meet on a regular basis. They usually have a luncheon together. And it's often potluck. Everybody brings a dish to pass and their own silver and plate so that there's no hassle. Everything's taken care of and everybody has a nice time. And then they play bingo. Mayville, a huge bunch of folks over here in Mayville. I just wanted to say they have a fabulous group here. I want to say Joyce Ayers is really great in keeping them together and working on it. She's the president. They had two new members, which is very important, Richard Ressler and Paul Odell. Now, I remember Paul Odell, who used to be the best judge and the most honored judge and probably the most appreciated and liked judge because he was so fair in Westfield, New York. And I hope he's doing well. And he'll be a major contribution over there. They're going to have to take a few trips themselves. You know, they're going to Salamanca Casino on March 8th, and Chautauqua Bell. That's that beautiful little side wheeler. It's going on. They're going on a trip in June there, and in August they're going to Alaska. Cambridge Springs on July 19th, and they're going to Alaska September 20th, breakfast at Sprague's, and a tour of the Eldred World War II Museum. And the Zippo factory. That's down in Pennsylvania. They'll have a trip to the Finger Lakes area, all kinds of wonderful things. And check in with Jane Kelsey. She's Chuck Kelsey's mommy, and she does a lot of that work there, and so does somebody else who helps her. All right, I've got enough. I've got a few more things, but the next meeting of the Mayville seniors, I'm not quite finished. Let me finish. February 3rd at noon in the Mayville VFW. That's where they meet. Bring a dish to pass and so forth. Music will be provided, and an executive meeting will follow. All right, now I have a few more items here. but they're telling me the news is over. I'm finished. It's over. It's kaput. My time is out. We've got Marianne Spanos coming on, but first of all, we have the guy who's going to do the geezer's work, but he's actually, he's not really the geezer, of course, and he's going to say goodbye to the geezer. And this fellow, I'm sure you're all very familiar with, Randy Burton. Randy, you're on, and I'll do it one more time. Shh, there you go. Wait a minute. They say they've got a PSA jacked up, so we'll do the PSA first, okay? All right, here's the PSA. Public service announcement. This is for you. Go.
Today, about 1 in 5 Americans is living with a disability. Over 50 million people, including many of our friends and neighbors, teachers and co-workers, heroes and leaders. 20 years ago, the Americans with Disabilities Act guaranteed every person the right to live, work, and participate fully in the American experience. We've come a long way since then, and we are committed to making even more progress in the years ahead. Visit disability.gov to see how you can help.
Okay, there we go. Now we have Randy Burt, who's going to talk a little bit about Mort Flexer, who has decided he's going to take his retirement at the age of 86 years old. You're on, Randy.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I came today expecting a party, but I guess our guest is for the party is not feeling too well. And I'm thinking I hear a phone call already, but yes, I started the studio about 5 years ago. The first person I think I remember meeting was Mort Flexer, and I have never met, such a gentle person. And the one thing Mort told me when I started is you cannot pick on seniors. That's the one rule with working with Access Channel 5. Well, I've been behind the camera, and I'm just amazed how Mort can get up here and just talk. I mean, I'm just blah, blah, blah. But Mort, I did have a present for you today, but since you're not here, I guess I'm going to have to bring this out. You're a top person, and Reed's always talking about living in your child's basement, eating cat food. Not for you. You're getting a first-class room, and you are going to eat the good stuff.
What is that?
This is real tuna fish.
Good.
This isn't cat food now, Mort. We've respected you so much over the years that you're getting a real McCoy. So, Mort, we're going to miss you. Everybody's loved you here, and I know you'll call in, and I bet you're watching, and I'm hoping somebody will call in and wish you farewell on your retirement. Thank you, Reed.
Thank you, Mort. Thank you, Mort. No longer. Mort has retired. He says the biggest wonderful thing about it is he can sleep in on Saturday mornings. And again, after 15 years, Mort has been our geezer for 15 years. And we certainly appreciate that. That's a big gift to the public. And Mort is a true gentleman and a scholar, I might add. He resurrected the Westfield Hospital, among other things, when it was facing bankruptcy, because he was a director there for many years. And Mort is not only a brilliant man, but he is basically just a true gentleman. And he has the seniors, he did wonderful editorials for years and years and years, 15 years. How can you say no? He's been with us for that long. And Mort, wherever you are right now, I think you're home, because Mort called in sick. He said, boy, I just can't get up even. I feel so terrible. And I said, okay, Mort, but we're having a party here. However, at any rate, Mort will be back from time to time. He said he'll fill in, and he'll do editorials for us when we need him, but don't bother him all the time, because he wants to sleep in. Okay, Mort, God bless you. You're just a terrific guy. I don't understand the order I just got. This way? This way. Pull you. Come over here. They want to see us. They need us both. Okay, we have Marianne Spanos. Dr. Marianne Spanos has been the Office for the Aging Director for how many years now? Seems forever.
Well, 4 years now.
4 years. How time flies when you're having fun.
It does, it does. I have to say I am sorry to hear that Mort is retiring, but I certainly understand, and I hope if there's anything we can do for you, Mort, that you'll call the Office for the Aging or me personally. Mort has been a terrific resource for the Office for the Aging. He's come to several of our boards, our long-term care council, always giving the senior view of services and what can we do to improve services for seniors. So I thank you so much, Mort, for your input and for your service to the seniors of Chautauqua County, not only on this show, but at our office and to the county. So thank you, Mort, and hope you're feeling better soon.
Yeah. Well, at 86, you I don't know, you get sick sometimes, I guess. I get sick. I've got an ongoing allergy.
Yeah, and I don't think the heating the forced air heating helps that any.
Yeah, I have a wood burning stove, so I don't have to worry about that.
Well, that puts out a lot of dust too. I have a wood burning stove as well.
Well, I had 6 cats too.
Oh my.
We're down to 2 now. They've kind of passed away over the years, 15 years, 10 years, 12 years. See, I got
That's why you have all that cat food, huh?
Well, I'm stocking up for myself later because it looks like we're going to be moving out of our house. We can't afford the taxes, and we're going to be living with my daughter. Her basement's pretty dry.
Yeah.
She said, well, you can have the whole basement. We'll fix it all up nicely for you. And I said, oh, okay. That's the way most seniors are going now.
Yeah, a lot of people, not just seniors, the younger people too, who can't find jobs are moving in with relatives to
Yeah, that's
make
right.
ends meet.
We have I guess about 9% unemployment here in Chautauqua County that they know of or tell about. You know, you never know what the figures are the real figures.
Well, I know it's difficult. I know when we have job openings at the county, we get many people applying for those jobs. So, yeah, it is.
It's becoming, well, it's nationwide, of course, and they keep telling us, oh, everything's wonderful, rosy, everything's getting better, and we have more jobs and so forth. Suddenly, oh, gee whiz, we had a 10% drop in positions, or 10% hike in unemployment requests last week or last month, I guess. But it's getting pretty bad.
Well, I'm hoping things will turn around soon, but there is some good news. We have been trying at Office for the Aging always to cut costs, not only to save the county money, but we just entered into a new venture with personal emergency response systems. Those are those buttons that you can press. Okay. You can have them around your neck, you press it, or it's on your wrist and you press it when you've fallen and can't get up.
I've fallen down and I can't get up.
Yeah, exactly, right. Exactly. Well, Office for the Aging, that's always been part of the array of home and community-based services that we offer. Unfortunately, with the money crunch, there hasn't been, we've had waiting lists for services. Well, we entered into a new contract with Doyle Medical Monitoring out of Rochester, New York, and for our personal emergency response, and we're calling it Chautauqua County Personal Monitoring. And the neat thing about this is when there isn't money through Office for the Aging, or when people don't qualify for Office for the Aging services, they can still get this service at a reduced rate. So what we're doing is using the buying power of the county to give people a reduction in this service if they need it. Normally, if they didn't qualify for Office for the Aging, they had to, enter into a contract on their own, and that could cost them anywhere between $29 and $38 a month. We are going to be able to offer it to people at $25 a month.
Okay, yeah, I hear. I still see the ads all the time of the ex-Surgeon General. What's his name? He used to be.
Yeah, there's a lot of different products out there, but they can be quite expensive.
Yes. And, well, there is a cheap way to do it. I've mentioned this before. I'll mention it again. If you haven't got the money for it, what you can do is get one of the very tiny cell phones, and the government is picking them up and reprogramming them so that they will work for 911, only 911.
Yeah, you can get them through our office,
and
they're free.
Just carry it with you around your neck. They're very light and small, or put them in your pocket, and if you do fall down, just hit the 911. Bingo, there you go.
Well, no, the only problem with that is when it doesn't have service, you must tell them where you are.
Yes. Yeah.
It will call 911 as long as it has a charge, but you have to tell them where you are. It's not, they can't locate you automatically.
Cell phones are that way.
But there's other services. We also have a free service through the Sheriff's Department called Are You OK? And that's a phone call every day, or sometimes twice a day. There's no cost to sign up for that. It calls you, though, at a specific time and asks you, you know, press any button if you're okay. And if you don't press the button, then it starts calling your backups, your neighbor, your child. And if no one answers, then the Sheriff's Department will go out and do a well check to see that you're all right.
Yes, also another, along with that for emergencies, there is a program whereby you can put all your important information, such as your doctor, your meds, your contact, your daughter or wife or husband or whatever it might be, and you put it on your refrigerator door. Or sometimes there's another one where you actually put it inside the refrigerator, but there's a big sign on the door saying it's in there. And that'll give them all the information you need. So if the emergency crew comes in, they don't have to check around and find out where your stuff is or who your doctor is. It's right there. And maybe sometimes you can't tell them, you know?
Right.
And that's good. And then they also have, in the middle of the night, when somebody's out looking for your house, they can't see addresses, especially rural areas, there is what they call a blue light, and they give you a blue light. You give this out.
Yeah, we have them at the Office for the Aging, actually.
What do you do with that?
That's, you put it into a regular lamp and can put it in the front window when you call 911, so it's easier to find your house. It will flash. It has a flasher and a blue light, and it flashes in the window and helps them locate your house. The other thing that we are really encouraging everybody in the county, not just seniors, to get are the 911 house numbering signs. They are, some of the fire departments have taken this on as a project and have done a terrific job in certain towns. They're sometimes red and white or blue and white or green and white, but they glow in the dark. And they're the numbers of your house, and they're put out by the curb rather than on your house, like they're at the end of your driveway.
How about the post box? A lot of people put
something
on that.
You can put it on that, but the Sheriff's Department is trying to offer this for people whose fire department is not doing it. And it's a $10 donation, $15 donation if you need the post as well, and someone will come out and help you install it.
Well, since you already have a post there with your box,
right.
it goes right on the box. It's easy.
Yeah, it's very easy to do.
Actually, you do it yourself. Just get some of those luminized letters or numbers and paste them on your box. But a lot of people don't think of that.
Yeah, I don't know about whether those glow in the dark.
They do. Some
you
of them
want
do. Yeah.
the ones that glow in the dark.
Yeah, yeah.
But I encourage, you know, there's so many choices out there. How do you make the right decision? Well, just remember that Chautauqua County has a helpline for people who are aging or disabled of any age, looking for things that help them be safer in their homes and stay in their homes longer, and that's the New York Connects helpline. So if you're wondering about all these different choices and want somebody to go over it with you on the phone, you can call New York Connects 753-4582, or you can call toll-free from Dunkirk 363-4582, and that's the New York Connects helpline. And
that'll give you some sort of information.
A nurse, or it's answered by a nurse or a caseworker who can really go through what you're looking for and give you all the available choices.
Okay, and don't forget your alarms, not just the emergency personal alarm, but also make sure you have a good fire alarm. A lot of them. I put one in every room, and nobody's ever been killed in a fire who's had alarms in their house, a bunch of alarms that are active. Make sure you change the battery every year, though, on your anniversary or Christmas or whatever you do.
Yeah, and carbon monoxide detectors.
Right.
We're seeing more and more problems with old furnaces, leaking carbon monoxide. Really important to have a carbon monoxide detector. In fact, if you have your furnace replaced in the, from now on, the furnace companies that are doing that are required to give you a carbon monoxide detector when they replace the furnace.
I have a detector in my house too for carbon monoxide. As a fire department, though, we get 1 million alarms, but they're not real. They're not fires. They're false alarms, you know.
Right,
And,
right.
But now we're getting them with the CO too. I mean, the carbon monoxide. So we're getting double false alarms, but better careful than dead.
Right, right. And just because we're having cold weather and we're talking about furnace problems, remember that HEAP is still open. In fact, the federal government just increased
HEAP, tell
the
'em what HEAP is.
allowance.
What's
HEAP
HEAP?
is the Home Energy Assistance Program, and it's for people of any age who are low income. It's a one-time benefit to help pay your heating bills. And then if you are in shut-off, if you've gotten a notice that you're going to be shut off and you can't afford to pay the bill, or you have less than a quarter tank of fuel in your fuel tank, you may be eligible for emergency heat benefit. The emergency heat benefit will also help with furnace repairs or replacement. But you must come to the Office for the Aging or Chautauqua Opportunities Incorporated if you're under 60. You must go there first. You can't replace things and then expect reimbursement.
You got to get permission first. Huh?
Right. Well, you know, that's the way it
Especially
goes when the government is paying for something
Right.
or helping to pay.
Of course, the average take is $50, they tell me, but then there is the full Monty. I mean, when you
Well,
when you're
$50
really
is
busted-
only the renter's benefit.
Uh-huh.
The benefit for most homeowners is like $300-400.
for all of them.
It's a one-time thing.
It's
but
also
then-
means tested, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
meaning
think
that-
it's about, if you have about $1,270 as income per month or under, I would call and find out if you're eligible for HEAP. And you can call our offices. I think they could put them up there. The Office for the Aging nearest you can help you with that.
Bingo, there it is.
They can send you the HEAP application through the mail. You can stop in and pick it up. And we'll help you making sure it's filled out properly.
There you go. And also one more alarm I have to mention. I think it's a brilliant idea. Most people have a button on their keychain, which when they press it, sets off the alarm in their car, and the lights start to flash, and,
Yes.
and the horn blows, and it goes on forever until you realize it's your car. You'd set it off in your pocket or something, which happens to everybody once in a while. But if you ever you suspect somebody is trying to get into your house, or is in your house, keep that right by your bedside, because if you press it, most of them will reach to the car. And suddenly this alarm starts going off, the horn's blowing, everything. It'll scare the wits out of anybody. So there's a possibility for protecting yourself. Of course, you hit your 911 first.
Yeah, that's a very interesting tip.
It's like having a burglar alarm in your house almost.
Yeah.
But it starts outside. That's enough to scare the wits out of everybody. Back when I was a young man and had a young family, kids and my wife and everything, we had a program for in case there's an intruder. We could, if we heard or felt there was an intruder in there, I kept a shotgun under my bed. And don't worry, it couldn't be shot excepting by somebody who knew the trick.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
We won't break into your house.
well, the first thing I would do is say, I think there's somebody there, Jane. I yell this real loud. See, we're upstairs and there's a hallway, and I make sure the light is always on in the hallway. And I think holy mackerel! And then I shoot one shot through the pane of glass.
Oh no!
Now, so you lost a $12 pane of glass. But in the meantime, it's a cannon roar, and you say to your wife, I would say, Janie, I think I got one of them. I'm going down and get that other son of a.
Did you ever do this?
Never had to, but we worked it out. We worked it out, and then we'd get down behind the bed, and have the gun pointed at the hallway. And if anybody did show up, they're in bad trouble.
Yeah.
But
So don't sneak up on Reed. That's the moral of that story.
well. My friends, I will tell you the trick on how to make your arm safe, so that nobody but you can, or anybody who knows the trick, can run it. But I'm not going to tell it on the air.
Oh,
because,
okay.
There is a way to do it. If you want to know, call me, and I'll tell you how to keep a shotgun around that works, but it will not go off excepting for you.
I don't know. I'm not into
safety.
guns at all.
Well,
I
if
think sometimes the statistics are if you have a gun in the house, it's more likely to be used against
no,
you.
that's phony baloney. Ask the
think so?
NRA. Sometimes that happens, but it's very rare. And of course, in many states, they're saying the gun control laws are crazy because all the criminals have guns, piles of them, stockpiles. You see them whenever they go in their homes. And in the meantime, that law-abiding citizen can't get a gun. Like New York State with the Sullivan Act and everything, it's virtually impossible to get a pistol here. And I agree with the fact you shouldn't get a gun if you're crazy. Or
yeah, but how do you determine that? That's the difficult part.
well, I guess you give them a test right on the spot.
Hey, I want to talk, so if we don't have a caller yet, I wanted to congratulate Lutheran Social Services. Did you hear that they celebrated 125 years of service to the community? Started out as a children's home and branched into senior nursing facility, and they have all kinds of senior housing, really progressive in serving seniors.
Now, where are they located?
They are in Jamestown on Falconer Street, just close to the Falconer town line. On Aldrin Avenue there, and they have a nice, beautiful campus. They're actually in charge of many of the senior housing in downtown Jamestown as well. They oversee that. And we've been great collaborators over the years. They host...
It's right next to JCC, right?
Very close, yes.
Yeah,
just down the street from there. Plus they run the Crane Street Apartments downtown, and I think they're running, helping to run Covenant Manor on 3rd Street. Many housing units, and they've been involved with exercise programs with the Office for the Aging. They host the RSVP program, foster grandparent program. We also work with them to do health insurance counseling for seniors. So a terrific group of individuals, and I think we should congratulate them for 125 years of service to the community.
It can't beat it. It's almost like Mort.
Yeah.
Which, incidentally, the reason we're not getting any calls is there's nobody to answer the phone right
now.
Oh, that's what Mort did. But I'm sure a call will come in eventually. We have with us Dr. Marianne Spanos. She is a wonderful person in our community because she handles senior services, the Office for the Aging, and does a wonderful job of that, considering the fact you've been cut back on your budget regularly, but you seem to find other funding, alternate programs, and substitutes and whatever. You still, you know, it looked like when Greg announced that he was going to do away with the Office for the Aging because of the budget crisis, and I knew he wouldn't. I knew he'd just jack up the taxes 9%. But
well, he never said he was going to cut the Office for the Aging.
No, it was in the newspaper.
Well, it was a proposal made by the legislature, but it wasn't made by him. He asked all the department heads to cut back 10%.
And did you manage? You must have, again.
We did. We actually cut back 8% and had to cut some positions. But we've been very successful. We just got a new grant for fall prevention from the Community Health Foundation of Western and Central New York. Another great organization who's really committed to the frail elderly and how do we keep them safe and in the community for as long as possible. And we are going to be, right now we're in our planning stage, but we hope to roll out some more fall prevention programs in the spring and through the summer. We have started a program called Stepping On, and we did it at Westfield.
It reminds me of a cat owner.
Well, Stepping On is a really neat program, and it's all about seniors. You were telling me that great tip about using your car alarm to startle a burglar. Well, it's a similar kind of thing, is that seniors have a wealth of information and a wealth of experience. And when you bring them together and start talking about falls, they come up with many solutions. I think when we get older and we start falling, we think that there's nothing we can do about that. Well, that's not true. There are many reasons why people fall, and there are many things that you can do to prevent falling. So we have this 7-week course. We bring in a physical therapist. We were very lucky to get the physical therapy people from Westfield Hospital who came over and showed the seniors some exercise and also talked about their devices. We had 3 people in the class with canes, and none of the canes had a proper tip on them.
Yeah, they had to have that rubber
And,
tip
you know,
on
that can contribute. Well, they had a rubber tip, but it had worn out. We got to
Yeah,
check those
right.
on a regular basis.
Right.
Well, the really neat thing that happened is one of the seniors, have you seen those little claw
Yeah.
tips that go over
Right.
the end? Well, one lady came in with that, and she was telling the others, you know, how that really helps in the ice and
Sure.
snow. Well, the other people who had canes adopted that.
Sure.
And that's what stepping on is all about. You can learn from each other little tips.
Okay, we have a caller. You want to take a call?
Yeah, sure,
Hey, good
let's
morning,
do
caller.
that.
Thank you for waiting.
Good morning, Reed. How are you?
Fine. What's up?
My question is from Mrs. Spanos. My grandmother just got something. It's like Life Alert, but it's not.
It's like Life Alert?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
through the county, apparently.
Okay.
I was just wondering if you could talk about that. I know she's got it, and it's really nice, but I think other people would like to know about it, too.
Is that the button?
I think so. She wears it around her neck.
Right. That is it through the Office for the Aging or the Department of Social Services?
I think the Office for the Aging got it for her. I don't know what it's specifically through, but...
Yeah, it's probably through Doyle Medical Monitoring. We're just moving all of our people from, we had a contract with Phillips Lifeline. There still are people in the county that have a contract with them. We've moved ours to Doyle Medical Monitoring because it's saving us close to $50,000 a year.
Whew, what a difference.
Yeah,
Whew.
oh yeah. It's like $10 less a month
Mm-hmm.
per unit, and that means that we can give it to more people. We have about 400 people who get those through the Office for the Aging, and it's usually on a cost-sharing basis. You know, if they are very low income, they pay nothing, but if they're higher income, they might pay a percentage of it. And as I said earlier, we're so happy that when we don't have funding, like now we have a wait list for services, that people can still get the buying power of the county for the Chautauqua County Personal Monitoring System.
Sounds good.
So $25 a month, a lot less than $38 a month, which was what they were being charged. And there's no hidden cost. Like if there's a couple in the house and they need an extra button, there's no charge for that. If the company has to go out and change a battery or service the unit, they don't charge for that. And that's why we went with Doyle Medical Monitoring. They're out of Rochester. They know where we are. They know the snow we're dealing with. So it's really a great system. I hope your mom is happy with it.
That answer the question, caller. Caller ran.
Oh,
Thank you, caller.
thanks for calling.
Yeah. Actually, I think we have to concern ourselves with the falling. That's very important, especially in the winter, because seniors go down like I go down all the time. But I know how to fall because I have a bad leg, and I've been falling down since I was burned half alive at 8 years old. And so if you fall and you roll, you're okay. You got to know just how to do it. But it fractures hips, it fractures legs, it fractures all over the place.
Right, and we want to prevent falling. And
Yeah.
things we need to think about are, you know, there are things that can make us more susceptible to falling. Look at your footwear. Look at the shoes that you're wearing. Sometimes medicines, even over-the-counter medicines like cold medicines, can interact with other medicines that you're on. So yearly you should check your medicines, both the ones prescribed and the ones that you're taking over the counter with your doctor to see if they can cause dizziness and
Don't
make
let your
you
kids
fall.
get to them. They pop
Yeah.
them for fun. Caller, good morning, caller. Thank you for waiting.
Well, good morning, Mary Ann. Good morning,
Well,
Reed.
this is a chipper.
Linda.
This is Linda. She lives in Chautauqua with a real old guy who's so sweet. He is the sweetest old guy, and I'll tell you, he just runs around on his buddy. He has this little chair that moves, and he has fun. He cackles as he rolls around.
I hope he's feeling well this morning, Linda.
He's feeling quite well this morning, Mary Ann. Thank you.
Is he chipper? And
He's chipper.
Okay, great. Maybe he'll talk to us in a minute.
Maybe he will talk.
Yeah, okay, great. Well, he usually hides, because he can't remember what he's going to say. You know how it is.
I don't know. I think Doug's pretty articulate.
Thank you, Mary Ann. Reed, you have to remember, Mary Ann knows Doug.
Okay. Well, she's seen him probably rolling around on his little buddy, and he actually plays a penny whistle. It's an Irish thing.
I think you told me that.
Yeah. He's a maestro with it, and he has a dog that he's training to play the piano again. He used to have a dog that played regularly, right?
Yes.
Spritzy or whatever it was.
Squirty used to play the piano. Yeah, they even taped him on. He was on the Jamestown Television Network playing the piano with the dog. This is a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah. So what's up with you over there?
Well, I just wanted to say how great it is to see you on the show, Mary Ann.
Thank you, Linda. Always a pleasure to be here.
And announce that we have positions with our senior employment program. Also,
Well, wonders never cease.
no, wonders never cease. Also, we're starting up our next computer training in Irving. It will be starting up on this Monday, coming up, the 31st of January. So, and we have another site opening up in Salamanca, which will probably be the following week. So that gives us 6 computer training sites. And it's a wonderful program for seniors, especially for those who have never touched a computer before. They're able to progress at their own level. It's one-on-one with a peer coach there to help them all the time, and it's on the computer where they move at their own pace and they follow through with the various instructions. It's called Digital Inclusion Generations
This is
Online.
open to everybody or seniors of a certain
It's
age?
open to all seniors.
All seniors.
And if
What's a
people,
senior?
And it doesn't matter, what economic group. In fact, if there are people who are not quite 55, it's open to them.
55, okay.
Right. And also, we have, just to remind people, computer training going on right now at the Patterson Library in Westfield.
Okay.
George Parker is the peer coach there.
That library is fantastic, isn't it?
It is.
It was a gift to the
library.
Patterson. He was a lieutenant governor. He was a Westfield guy, and his daughter honored him by building that library, and it's built on an old Greek, one of the Greek temples.
Yes, it's beautiful.
And it has an amphitheater behind it on stones, just the way they did, but nobody even knows about that. It's down below. And it had a second floor, it was all glass. And nobody knows that because they covered it with rugs. Because when I was a kid, we used to, in the winter, go up there and skid along on our shoes and then come down and touch someone's ear, and there'd be a spark that long. They didn't like that.
Well, I am very fortunate to have Linda as the coordinator for our senior employment program. We get grants from the Department of Labor, and some of that money comes to us through the state of New York and some through Senior Services America. And it helps people 55 and older find a job. We actually place them in government or not-for-profit agencies where they can get training and learn new skills so that they can get unsubsidized employment. And that's a 20-hour-a-week work week that hopefully leads to regular employment for them.
It's not a physical job usually, because you see an 85-year-old man, they say get a job if you don't like your Social Security, which is nothing now.
Well, these
are good jobs.
Yeah, they can be office jobs. They can be, jobs working with other adults. We have people at the adult daycare. We have people that work for Meals on Wheels, a rural ministry, through the county archives department. There's all kinds of places that we use senior aides. We have about 60 of them in Chautauqua and
all paid?
Cattaraugus
Are they all paid,
County.
or are they volunteer?
Well, no, it's paid by the government.
Good.
Yes, it's subsidized work, so they get paid minimum wage.
So you're
for
sucking
20
a lot of
hours.
dough into the county.
We
this
are
way.
trying, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
And a lot of people get jobs away from that. And we actually brought up to Senior Services America that computer training was a huge issue for older adults. They didn't even want to touch the computer. And we know to be competitive, you need to have some computer skills, but also just in general for our lives are becoming more computer oriented.
Yeah.
And we want seniors to get in on that. So Senior Service America has given us a special grant to train people, whether they're looking for a job or not. They can go to any of our sites and get free computer training. And the neat thing is you have somebody sitting right there with you helping you through it.
Yeah.
So you don't feel funny, that you don't even know how to turn on the computer or use the mouse. They go through very basic stuff with you, And then we try to refer them, once they master those skills, those basic skills, we try to refer them on to different training that's happening at the libraries, like through BOCES. They have a higher level computer training. But, it's generally targeted at people 55 and over, but we don't card you. So if you're a little bit younger and want to learn, we aren't going to turn you away. So check that out. It's also at the Pomfret Fredonia Great Belt Seniors at St. Anthony's Church. As Linda said, at the Westfield Patterson Library, and right in our offices in Jamestown at 610 West 3rd Street. We have a trainer down there.
I think I just heard Doug.
Oh.
No, you heard the dog. You didn't hear Doug.
The dog, huh? Does he have a question?
Well, I'm sure that Doug would like to talk to you. Well, thank you, Mary Ann, for talking about that. And I'd like to mention also that we have trained over 300 people.
Good. Well, most seniors use the computer. I don't know how you get along without one, frankly, because they email their kids and they order things over online.
I know, but there's still people out there that are afraid to touch it.
That's funny. That's funny.
You know, so this gives them the opportunity, you know,
or just
to
have
not
their grandchildren come in and show them how to do it. The grandchildren fix my computer. Okay, there we go. Doug, you're on.
Thank you, Mary Ann. Have a great weekend. Doug, would you like to say hello? Doug is going to say a quick hello to you this morning. Thank you.
Hi, Mary Ann. How are you?
Good morning, Doug. How are you?
Doug Spaulding.
I'm pretty good for an old fellow. Of course, it's kind of hard for a guy when you're close to 90 to talk on the telephone.
Doug, you can get into Chautauqua free, though. You know, isn't that fantastic? When you're 90, you get in
When
free.
he lives on the grounds, I don't think it matters.
He still has to pay a gate fee, though, I bet, don't you?
It's going to be a while, I'm afraid.
Well, when you live there, you still pay a gate fee, don't you, in the summer?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They sock it to you. What is the gate fee now?
Gee, it's astronomical.
Yeah. Well, they still cry about the fact they're losing money anyway.
It nibbles a little bit more at your retirement income.
Right. I know. Well, you don't have any inflation, remember? The Congress has assured us of that. Their figures can prove it.
Did you hear that there's going to be a PBS special? Is it Monday or Tuesday, Doug? Do you know?
Yeah, I think it's the 31st. I think it's on the 31st.
10 p.m. incidentally.
On Chautauqua, PBS, yeah.
On Chautauqua, 10 p.m.
I think it's going to be an exciting thing. I actually got to go to the preview down at the Jackson Center a month or two ago, and it was a wonderful, wonderful expose on Chautauqua Institute, how it started, and the pillars of learning that go on at Chautauqua Institute. So I'm really excited to open this up. We don't want it to be a secret anymore.
Again, what's the date and time? 10 o'clock on?
10 o'clock on the 31st on WNED.
WNED, that's Channel 3 on our cable.
10 p.m.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's a good tip.
You can preview it right now on the ciweb.org if you want to do that.
What day of the week is that?
That's Monday. That's this coming Monday.
Monday night.
Monday night, 10 o'clock, 10 p.m.
Okay, that sounds like fun.
Well, listen, have a great week. I'm going to let you go.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, Doug, and hang in there, and don't, you know, when you go ice fishing, keep your heater going.
Take care. Bye-bye.
In your dreams.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Marianne, that's what was the date again on that? Just so everybody has it.
It's January 31st.
That's
next
this
Monday.
Coming Monday at 10 o'clock.
At 10 o'clock. On WNED. Out here you said it's Channel 3. Where I live in Bemis, it's Channel 9.
Okay, fine. Everybody knows that's the public
television station.
Sure.
And WNED has actually been a terrific partner for senior issues. This Community Health Foundation is very involved with WNED in promoting, the P2 Collaborative, which is improving health care for our people.
Yeah, and the government doesn't like them. They're cutting their funding. In the meantime, give them a donation. I donate a few bucks every year. Just if everybody in the country did that to their public service, they'd be well off. They wouldn't have to worry.
They have some wonderful programs, and this expose on Chautauqua Institute, which they're touting as the world's learning center, and the whole county, they're trying to brand a new image of Chautauqua County as the world's learning center with Chautauqua Institute as our centerpiece, and I think it's a fabulous idea. People don't know about Chautauqua Institute and our beautiful county, and we need to get the word out that people should be coming here.
Well, Chautauqua has been there for over a century, and they started out as a train of wagons that ran around the county and taught people, then they settled there. It's a beautiful place right along the lake, and I want to say let's put it this way, you can live there very cheaply if you know how, the churches. Go to the church homes. And I probably cost them some money because I've told people there, local residents say, oh, I can't afford to go there, and the gate fees. There are at least 15 ways you can legally and morally get into Chautauqua for free if you live around here.
But I don't, it isn't, I love to go to their events and the morning lectures. I think they're still very reasonable.
And they're free if they're religious based.
And on Sundays you can get in free.
All day.
And your children are usually not charged. Children under 18, I believe, can go to any of the events without charge.
And it's a wonderful place.
Yeah, I go to lectures every year. We went to a wonderful musical for ABBA. That was a lot of fun.
They have opera, and, they have art, they have all kinds of
We
wonderful
are just
things
so lucky in this rural area to have Chautauqua
in
Institute.
Tens of thousands of people to our area every summer, and that's why they all live around the lake there in that area.
Well, and world-renowned people. I've seen Supreme Court justices there.
Kennedy was there. John F. Kennedy was there, and so was Clinton.
Amelia Earhart was there. Did you know that?
Edison lived there.
She flew.
Ford lived there. What a place. Incidentally, we're running out of time. I just want to mention 4 other Chautauquas. It's so successful. One in Colorado. Disney has one.
I don't know that they're still in existence, are they?
Okay, we've got 5 minutes left, they tell me. Good. Well, Chautauqua is so popular and everything. They're copycats all around.
Well, I know they're copycats, but I don't know that any of them, except maybe the Disney one, is still going on. I think they've all kind of gone by the wayside. In fact, they talk about that in this.
Oh, yeah?
And there was a Chautauqua movement, but we were the original here in Chautauqua County.
The one and only.
And they did establish places around the country, but it's my understanding that Chautauqua Institute here in Chautauqua County is really the only one that's still in existence.
Oh, that's good.
And running with very robust programming. And as I said, we are just so lucky to be able to go there and experience and listen to very thoughtful commentary, not only on politics, but on our health, on every area of our lives. And I think that they have a unique voice there in that they let everyone's opinion be voiced. Kind of non-denominational. They started out as a Methodist camp, but they're really so tolerant of everyone's views. And I think that's the only way that we can come to world peace, is that we listen to everyone's point of view and try to understand people who come from different cultures. So really neat place. And I'm hoping that they're going to do another senior week. They did that a few years ago, and it was just fabulous. And we look forward to hopefully some programming that's specific for seniors in this upcoming year.
Usually after the season they had one. I know that for quite a while.
Well, no, they had a whole week during the season a couple years ago. That was devoted to aging well. So
they did one to honor Black America too. A couple 3 years ago, and all hotels shut down almost. There was nobody coming. That's the way it is, Some people just will not come out for certain programs. They come for the other ones.
Well, I think they get terrific response to all their programming.
They do. We're out of here. They told us we're done. So give you 30 seconds without any interruption.
Well, remember that if you're an older person or a disabled person of any age looking for help in this community, you can always call Office for the Aging and we'll point you in the right direction. If you're having heating problems, please call us. We might be able to help you, link you with services that will reduce the cost of your heating or help you repair or replace your heating unit. So call Office for the Aging. You've got the numbers, and we're here to help you.
Marianne Spanos, thank you very much for coming in. Come in soon again?
Always a pleasure,
every month, there's always some new news and things going on, new grant. Okay, thank you for calling. Last caller, I'm sorry, but we'll get you next time. when we got Chuck Kelsey to thank for this program and this wonderful, beautiful center we have. Come over and look at it sometime. Devin Taylor also. We've got Chris Burt, Chris Remaker, Mort Flexer, Randy Burt, and Jeff Zook, and last but not least, Don Zins. Thank you guys. They're part of our crew today and doing a heck of a job. And I don't say no on TV. Right? Thank you, Marianne Spanos. Get out there and have a wonderful day. Celebrate the beauty of our county. May all that is proud and true and noble abide with you. I'm Reed Powers.